Hello YouTube world. For today's segment, I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys old technology, I almost want to say archaic technology versus the newer technology, specifically from Autobot. There's some other manufacturers out there who have similar technologies, but no one can touch Autobot's Helix hip. So first, I want to show you the old. And by old, I mean this is the technology that was around forever up until Autobot did some research and development on the Helix hip, and previous to the computerized knee systems they have now, such as the C-leg. So anyway, here it is. Really basic prosthetic leg. Compared to what we have now, archaic and actually dangerous. I don't know how I survived on this thing. But anyway, this is the newer of the old too, which is scary. There is a carbon fiber foot here. This thing is pretty beat. The old carbon fiber foot didn't have nearly the energy output that they have now. But let's take a look. The foot's the least of my problems. You get to this knee, check this out. It's just a spring-loaded knee joint. Boop, that's all it does. Has a little bit of extension assist with the spring system. But I will tell you, I have fallen countless times because of this knee. What happens is, if you get your heel on something, if you put your heel on something and you put pressure down, it just causes the knee to collapse. And once you put that weight bearing down, this whole thing caves in, you're on the ground. I can't tell you how many times that happened to me. And I should share a couple of stories at a later time. I promise I'm gonna keep these videos 5 minutes-ish. So anyway, that's the knee, completely unstable. Again, if you hit the heel, it's gonna just give out. Really basic. Now, I'm a hip dysarthritic, so I also have to have a hip joint. Similar story here, and this is a newer version of a spring-loaded hip. This is a little bit better than I had in the past of the old archaic technology, only because this had a little bit more resistance in the hip. And just so you folks know, at a later time I'll probably show you the socket, but the socket attaches here. So basically this is on me, my hip is here, there's a socket, I kind of sit in the socket. But anyway, this is the hip. And the problem with this hip is, again, it's spring-loaded. The newer technology is hydraulic, so basically when you take that step forward, this thing kind of swings forward, the tension on the spring increases, and then it comes back, then you plant your foot down. You take another step, it kind of swings forward, down. Really hard to manipulate. In fact, if you watch all my crazy videos, if I try to get back into this now and use it, I feel like I'm gonna die. And I'm super coordinated. I quite frankly think back to when I was using this, and I can't believe I functioned. It's so bad. Anyhow, we're at 4 minutes, so I gotta move. Here is the newer technology. Right off the bat, you can tell, holy cow, what a difference, right? I mean, this foot's in better shape, but regardless of that, it's a carbon fiber foot. I mean, I'm not gonna say it's dramatically different than the one I had on the other leg, the other prosthetic, but here's the big deal. C-leg, huge. I love Autobot. Autobot, in my mind, is the best manufacturer for prosthetics. They've been around the longest. I think they have the best research and development. I think they're the most reliable. For me, that's what I need. I'm so active, I put so much wear and tear in this stuff, I want something that's gonna last. But anyway, here's the C-leg. Many of you know what the C-leg is. So that is huge for me. Anybody who is familiar with the sea leg knows, you know, you have computerized sensors in there that sense the terrain. And here's the difference. So if I hit anything irregular on the ground, you know, on that heel, if I do a heel strike on a rock, a bump, etc., this is going to kick on. The hydraulic in the knee is going to kick on, and it's very slowly going to let me down. So I feel it. If I feel something irregular, the hydraulic kicks on, I feel it, I'm in control, I don't fall, I say, okay, I hit a little bump. Honestly, that's oh my God, I never fall anymore. It's fantastic. The newer Sea Leg 4 has a gyroscope in it, so just has a lot more sensing technology. I recently, get on my YouTube, I recently was playing soccer with my daughter and I was playing goalie. And for the first time, I'm talking the first time, somehow the way I just got off the ground and put my foot down, I tricked the knee and it collapsed, and you see me just go boom. That never happens. That's like the first time in years that's happened. I'm not even sure how I did that, but that's how good the technology is. Now for a hip disc artic, this is the real key. This is what has enabled me to do what I do. Well, first of all this, but secondly this. This hip is unbelievable. This is the Helix hip. This is also hydraulic. It has extension assist with these rubber bands, and you can adjust those too. You can get, you know, firmer or less firm rubber bands, but you can see it. If I let go of this, it's already wanting to make that hip move forward. So a little bit of an extension assist. As you know, if you're hip disc artic, you have no muscle control of your hip, so that's really important and cool. If you look in there, I'm not sure you're gonna be able to see it. You can see the hydraulic piston in there, and that's what really gives you control of the hip. So when I'm using this hip, you know, the hip will come out, I'll plant my foot, and the hydraulic kicks on. It's a very smooth gait, and I have full control of it. There's none of this kind of swings forward and goes where it wants to and comes back, and then I put my foot down. It's just out, down, next step, out, down. I'm so much more comfortable. Now, without this technology, I couldn't be doing any of the stuff I'm doing. You see me jumping over walls and steppers and running and dribbling and dunking a basketball on a lowered rim. None of that is possible with this. I could live to be 100, it would never happen. With this, it's completely possible. Not easy, you have to work at it, but it's possible, you can do it. So for me, this has been holy cow, the power just went out. Anyway, I'm gonna end that video right there, and I will talk to you guys soon.